While I've been down under, Ariel's taken in the scenery at Raccoon Mountain, a state-designated wildlife observation area that overlooks the Tennessee River in Chattanooga. Her gracious guide is TVA's Thomas Gamble, the plant manager at the Raccoon Mountain Pump Storage Plant.
This is beautiful. You can come up here and just relax.
You know, I don't get to see this very often. I stay underground, but this entire reservation we're looking at is just open to the public, and we maintain it. Most of our hydro facilities and a lot of our older facilities have visitor centers that are staffed by retirees and people that volunteer. They can answer questions and talk to you. So it's a resource that's there that, as you'll see when we get over, we have thousands of visitors here every year, but it's not anything that we're getting extra out of it. We utilize the lake and things, but this is just to make electricity. So we supply power to almost 1 million homes a year.
That's so,
I mean, that's so
remarkable
when
to
you
me.
think about size-wise, it's and to drive by, you miss it because we're actually down in the mountain. You won't ever see it. So.
Yeah, I totally drove fast.
I did my first time, but I wouldn't say that. Beautiful morning.
It is beautiful. So glad it didn't rain today.
Somebody's getting ready to go back in there.
I know. Aw. I love they're bringing their dogs out here.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Hi, puppy.
Hey, bud.
Hi. I like your bandana. I'm going mountain biking for the first time today. Do you have any advice, tips, warnings?
Where are you going?
On a beginner trail.
Just be careful.
Okay.
Stay off the front brake. That's real common for beginners. If you slam the front brake on, you're going to go over the handlebars.
Okay.
So if you're braking, put your butt back over the back tire and kind of crouch down a little bit and make sure you use your right hand more than your left.
Okay.
It's addicting. It's something that once you get used to doing it, you want to do it all the time. Take more than 2 or 3 days off and you start getting grumpy and your spouse is like, please go ride. Check. Don't do it.
It's like the difference of playing a video game or being in the video game. It's a workout. It's cool.
You have so much fun you forget that you're getting a workout.
Well, then just about all these trails just link to the next trail, so you can go as far as you want to go.
Well, I normally park down at the bottom and ride up live wire and then come around the top.
All the way around.
And then drop down high voltage over there. That's a screamer right there. Going down
it's named
voltage.
well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, y'all have a safe trip, bud.
So long to Thomas for a few hours, but hello, Clay Guerry. Clay's a natural resources specialist with TVA, and when he's not working, he's on 2 wheels and a mountain.
I'm a first timer. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I would love for you to show me how to work this thing.
Absolutely. Well, this is a fairly simple setup. Essentially, you just want to be in a gear where you're pedaling comfortably, but not exerting too terribly much energy. So we don't want to get too worn out there. And if you want, we'll ride around and practice a little bit out here in the parking lot.
I'll follow you.
All right.
I heard that you want to use the back brake more than the front brake.
You want to try to use the back to the front at about a 70-30.
Okay.
And whenever we hit an obstacle, hit it with speed to kind of get up and over it. If we're talking about a small rock or a root, it's generally advisable to hit that with pedals in a neutral position. Because if you're riding along and you're not pedaling and you stay with 1 foot down, that opens up the possibility to hit a rock and kind of throw you off your bike. So when you're going downhill or anytime when you're not pedaling, you want to have your cranks flat to the ground like this.
So like this?
And then steering, there's a little trick. They say your tire will go where your eyes go. So if you're coming up on something and you know you don't want to hit that rock on the left, don't look at the rock on the left. Because you will invariably go into that rock on the left. So always try to look at where you want to go and not where you don't want to go.
Raccoon Mountain is home to 28 miles of biking trails. And with names like Livewire, Megawatt, Switchyard, and High Voltage, I think Ariel's in for a bumpy ride.
Go, bike, go! I almost made it.
That's okay. If you ever feel like you're unbalanced or something, seriously, just step off the bike.
So how long have you been mountain biking?
A little over 20 years.
20 years? Wow. Okay. if somebody's at home and they're watching and they're kind of like me, they've never been and they're thinking about it, but they're not sure, like, do you have advice for them, or?
Absolutely. Start with your local bike shop.
Okay.
Most bike shops do group rides because it can be a little disheartening if you don't have someone that can kind of show you the ropes, and it's not easy. It's a very aerobic sport.
So have you ridden this whole trail out here?
Yeah, the whole system here at Raccoon Mountain, there's just under 30 miles, and from up here at the top, we can ride downhill about 1,200 vertical feet. That's pretty special to have a downhill that's well over a mile long. So that allows you to get in a better workout, have a longer downhill experience.
I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet.
we'll
work up to that. We need to ride a few more times.
Absolutely. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Made it.
Nice, nice.
Whenever we were riding, I'm like, who made these trails? Like, where did they come from?
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
In 2005, TVA and Sorba Chattanooga, which is the Chattanooga chapter of the Southern Off-Road Bicycling Association, entered into an agreement where TVA allowed the construction of the nearly 30-mile trail system on this type of landscape.
Okay.
And so if folks are interested in that, they can go to TVA.com, and right there on our homepage, if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see a little mountain biker and a little link to trails, and that'll take you to the list of all the TVA trails on throughout the valley.
Up and down the mountain, check. And Ariel's checking back in with Thomas for an exclusive up and down tour of the Raccoon Mountain Pump Storage Plant.
Right now, we're standing on the intake structure here at Raccoon. You look down, it's not very deep. We're probably 30, 40 feet away from the water, but in reality, we're 1,100 feet above the plant below us. So
that is so crazy to me.
If it's unwatered, you're looking straight down into the penstock going to the facility. So.
And you said that when it's drained, I could be up here and hear them.
If we're working inside the unit, you'll actually hear people talking and things going on just like you were beside them. So this entire lake that we're looking at is 525 acres. You can see the water line still on part of the dam from where we've changed over the day to night. That's pretty well the high point that you would see where we would be at a full lake pool. So we'd be way up toward the top of this window, so you would be almost right on top of the water. And there's actually cliffs and things that are out here in the lake, so there's some areas that are left so that when we unwater, there's holding bodies of water that would sustain the wildlife and things that are left.
Okay.
So,
that's good to know. So, I was wondering what happens to them when you drain the lake.
So we'll drain down as far as we can with our units without putting them in danger.
And then when you fill it back up, they'll come out of that little pool or whatever.
Yeah, and then we fill the lake back up. So it's within about 24 hours, you'll have the entire lake back filled like nothing ever happened.
So this operates as like a large storage battery, correct?
Yes.
So can you kind of like break that down though and explain that?
Well, and you know, everybody uses batteries and we recharge batteries. That's essentially what this is, but on a bulk power grid. So I can pump water to the top of this lake, fill it up. That's charging my battery. So that when the demand goes up, everybody wakes up in the morning cold, turns their lights on, heat on, starts taking their showers. We'll put generators online. So we're using that same water that we pumped up last night in the lake. The power from being 1,000 feet of elevation change flowing through the turbine turns around, and now you have 400 megawatts of power going back out on the electric grid. So it's one of the largest pump storage facilities in the U.S.
This mountaintop marvel was built on top of a peak, and the powerhouse was carved out of solid rock 1,000 feet down. While it's certainly an impressive engineering feat, one has to wonder about the wild colors inside.
So everything is really colorful in here. Is that for a specific reason, or is it just whoever was decided just was like, I want purple and yellow and red, or?
I've been given a couple of explanations. I've not really settled. One is because we don't see daylight very often. It makes us feel better to have bright colors around. The other, it was built in the 70s, so there was a lot of different mindsets going around. The one that's probably most feasible is really if you've got bright colors, it allows you a depth perception. Because all four are identical, and if you're sitting on one end of the facility or other, it helps you kind of pull apart.